Hello, YouTubers. How are you today? This is your driver, Scott. So today I want to talk a little bit more about the navigation system. And if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I kind of just follow the navigation system unless it tells me something kind of silly. And you know, sometimes you have people who they swear by navigation systems, and others who just can't stand the navigation system. I, for the most part, use it more like as a guideline to kind of get me where I'm going. But I prefer to learn the streets myself, learn the city, and just kind of, you know, the navigation system is more along the lines of a crutch that if I need it, I can grab it. But I also just kind of follow it without thinking too much unless I hear something crazy. So I'll tell you a couple of navigation stories. When I first started out, I found out about this Waze app, which I knew nothing about before, and I downloaded it to use it for several reasons. The simple driver, you know, swore by it, and I took his advice. He's one of the people I consider my mentors in this business. So I downloaded the Waze app and I set it up. Now, since then, Uber has made us sign a terms of agreement where we have to use their navigation system. I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe that they're leasing this from MapQuest. You guys remember MapQuest back in the day, right? You used to look it up on the computer and then print out the pages. But I believe that's what the Uber partner navigation system is. It looks like it. I went through the App Store and I saw, you know, the MapQuest navigation system. I go, that looks like the one that I use for Uber. So I'm thinking that Uber is leasing it out from MapQuest. And I used to use Waze also for Lyft. The thing is that Google threw a lot of money at Lyft. And then Lyft had suggested to us that we used Google Maps. And, you know, I didn't hate Google Maps. I kind of liked Google Maps. So I said, all right, what the heck? So now I use Google Maps for Lyft, and I use the Uber Partner app for Uber. And, but I want to tell you a story a little bit, and this isn't the story I really wanted to tell you, but I want to tell you a little bit about what it was like using Waze. I thought Waze was great until you got to the destination. Then all of a sudden it'd say, you've arrived. But for some reason, if it was some kind of complex, it wouldn't help you out with that. So it tells me I've arrived, and I'm in the middle of the street, and to the right of me, to the left of me, is a driveway that takes me into a commercial complex, you know, where there are buildings and like warehouses and stuff. And next to that is another driveway that takes me into a residential place. And I can't really tell because the navigation system just has, boom, you're here. So I figured, let me just go residential. I mean, I could have been picking a person up from work at that point, but I said, let me just go residential just in case. So I pull in, and now I'm looking for the address, and I'm looking for the building in this complex where there are like 3 or 4 buildings. And, you know, it's not always clearly evident, the building number. You have to kind of look for it. And the navigation system's not helping me. So I kind of drive around, and I say, all right, it's definitely not here, so let me back up and come back around again. And the phone rings. And I pick it up, and she goes, you just drove past me. All right, listen, people. If you're going to order a Lyft or an Uber, try to think of the driver as a friend who's coming to pick you up. And you want to explain to that person how to get there. Now, of course, if you're using the app all the time, that means you have to explain it all the time. Don't assume that this guy or girl knows exactly where you're building it. It's not as clear as you think it is. You know where it is, so it's easy for you to see the number, but, you know, for somebody who just pulls up, it's not always evidently clear. Just have your friend come by and see how easy he or she finds it without you giving him any directions, without him using the navigation system. Chances are he's going to drive around a little bit. So anyway, I drove back, and sure enough, I picked her up and I took her on her way. Now again, since then I've gotten a lot better. That first of all, that area is not an area I normally drive in, so you know, I was a little shaky with it. You know, plus I was using Waze, and Waze just said you're here when I wasn't actually there. And now I use two different apps, you know, for navigation. So the story I want to tell you about is this one guy. He hated the navigation system, and it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, something like that. So it was a lot of traffic. There was still a lot of rush hour traffic, and he's telling me, turn here, turn here, turn here, which is different than what the navigation system was saying. And, you know, I'll do it, you know, whatever. But I'm noticing that every time I make that turn away from the navigation, what the navigation system was telling me, it's adding a minute to the ride. So he wanted to take back roads. That's fine. But each time he made that turn, he was adding a minute. I thought that was funny. If he was trying to get there faster, and I think he was in a rush, I think he was running late, he didn't do it. He actually ended up making himself even more late. But whatever. Whatever makes you happy, dude. There was another guy. I was taking him and his wife, I believe. You know, it could have been his girlfriend, but I believe it was his wife. And we were going to eat. Well, they were going to eat. I was driving them to on Las Olas, right? And we were coming south on Federal Highway to turn onto Las Olas. And I said to him, you know, the navigation system's telling me to take Las Olas. I could go behind it if you want. There's actually a back road behind it, and you just bypass all that traffic. I mean, seriously, you just drive right around it. It's a little bit longer, but not so much that it's going to make what you're paying, you know, any more than a couple pennies. But he goes, no, it's okay. So we turned onto Las Olas. Dead stop. And the guy goes, oh, traffic. And I started laughing because, well, I was trying not to laugh in front of him. I was, you know, to myself. And he was like directly behind me, so he really couldn't see me as much as his wife could. I was trying not to laugh because I'm thinking to myself, dude, we could have avoided the traffic. We could have just gone around behind you. I could have chopped you off right there. But anyway, I thought that was funny. I think a lot of times with the navigation system, it's funny and you wind up with a lot of different things about it. I do have different stories with different people about the navigation system. I hope you like these. Anyway, if you did, please like, subscribe. You can comment. Tell me your navigation stories. I'd love to hear them. Also, hit that notification button. There's a bell over, you know, down below, and it'll let you know whenever I post a video. Okay. That way, you know, you never get to miss all this juicy, fun stuff that I'm telling you about. Also, if you want to make some extra cash, some extra part-time money, be your own boss, drive your own hours, take a look at the links down below. You can make extra money. First of all, I want to also, I don't really say this quite often, but you get a referral bonus when you sign up to join, to drive. It changes from market to market. I'm going to go on the conservative end and say $100 if you're with Uber and $50 if you're with Lyft. But what I would recommend you to do is to join up with Uber. For 30 days, you got to do 30 rides, which is not hard, or 50 rides. I forget, it changes. But go ahead and do that. Get the Uber referral bonus at the end of the 30 days. Then add Lyft, and then drive just Lyft. You know, keep the Uber off, just drive Lyft until you get the Lyft bonus. And then once you do that, you can decide which one you want to drive for. Drive both of them. Don't drive any of them. But there is a sign-up bonus, you know, that you get if you join up and do that, in addition to the money you make, you know, driving. So go ahead and look at that. There's also a link down below about your if you want to hire your favorite Lyft or Uber driver. And then there's also, for those of you who maybe you have a Uber app as a passenger, but you don't have the Lyft app, and Lyft is in your area, I suggest go ahead and download the Lyft app. Or if you have Lyft, go ahead and download the Uber app. And then what you do is you just check the prices between the two of them, see which one's cheaper. You will be surprised. And then you just pick the cheapest one, the best one for you. Okay? Anyway, this is your driver, Scott. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.